Again, this is the Success Stories panel. My name is Debbie Fitterer. I'm the coordinator of the Community Services Program at the Helen Keller National Center. I just want to let everybody know that our conference sponsors today are the Computer Center for Visually Impaired People, the New York State Commission for the Blind, Rozicki and Associates, and the Hidden City Cafe. I also want to remind everybody to put your cell phones on mute and vibrate. And for today's afternoon workshop, we have 4 panelists and 3 success stories. Lynne Tatum is directly to my left. She's going to be telling us her story on embarking on a new endeavors. Yes. Then we have Dora Lopez, who works at a national corporation, Cintas. Don Horvath is a case manager at the Helen Keller National Center and is actually sitting in for Dora's job coach, who couldn't make it to the afternoon workshop. And on the end, we have Gary Grassman, who's a BEP manager. And thank you all for coming. So Lynne, why don't we start with you? Okay, Lynne,
yes.
Hit it.
All right. Can I be heard?
Yes.
All right. First of all, welcome. Thank you. I didn't know I was going to be first, but here I go. Oh, and I have been told that I never know if it's right, alumnus of this High School of Music and Art, which is completely relevant to what I'm saying. Where are you, Pamela?
All right.
All right. So we are proud. Some folks who know me as the CCVIP's senior instructor, and I teach all kinds of things like Office and Word and PowerPoint and Internet and things like that. But I have another life, and the other life is performing. I've been performing. I have a choir member out there. I've been performing a long time, and with many groups. It was our pleasure to perform with a person who did sign language for the, I guess it was American Sign Language for the deaf, and all kinds of things. So beautiful having our songs interpreted that way, all the way up to large choruses, small choruses, duets. My cabaret partner Maria Rios is here, and I mentioned the word cabaret because that is my success story. I had gone to several cabarets, and I thought, wow, you know, you go, there's a 2-drink minimum, you know, you see a lovely show, and you go out saying, oh, that was so lovely. And I remember one time we went, and there was a fabulous comedian, and there were only 3 of us sitting in the sitting in the audience, and I felt so bad for him. But, you know, but we laughed as hard as we could. And I said, wow, you know, and after being in so many, I was in the Lighthouse Chorus and all the Lighthouse Ensemble and all that, a friend of mine just out of the blue said, you know, Lynne, you should just try to do a cabaret. My friend does cabarets. I said, really? It never occurred to me that I would be able to go out and just, like, you know, like magic, just pluck a job from the sky. And I didn't know, I didn't have anywhere to start, I didn't know who to ask, I didn't know anything. But he gave a contact to me, and she set me on the path of telling me about music and lists and so many things that I had no clue. So I'm gonna just put my little piece in my ear so I don't forget any of my notes. Oh, it's out loud anyway. So, okay, now it's not speaking. But in any case, so I said, well, where do we start? Well, our first cabaret came about almost by magic. We said to a guitarist friend, hey, how would you like to do a cabaret with us? We want to do it. Do people here know what used to be called Triad NYC? It's on 72nd Street. Oh, thank you. All right, cool. So Triad NYC has been around for quite a long time, and we thought, well, we'll try that. Well, I went on the web, I found the booking manager, I emailed him, and then I thought that I never heard from him. Well, that was not true. I found his email 5 months later. But in the meantime, our friend had spoken to someone, we don't know who it was, and it said, oh, we have these ladies and they would like to do a cabaret and blah, blah, blah. And that is how it started. Now, the one thing I didn't like, I love the cabaret. The experience was unlike anything else I had, well, experienced. But it was all out of my control. By the time I said, okay, I have the snippets of sound for you to send to him so that he knows we're legitimate, he'd already gotten the gig. And I thought, what? And the same thing happened with the money. At the end, there were 3 of us, 4 musicians, and we brought in a sizable audience. In fact, I kind of felt a little bit like, well, I shouldn't say, but when the gentleman came up, one of the owners came up and he kissed me on the cheek at the end, and he said, oh, thank you, Miss Tatum. You're welcome here, you're welcome, to come back anytime. I never knew how much we made, I had to pay the musicians and everything, so it was a great experience. Our mic test, how you have a rehearsal and this kind of thing? Rehearsal was literally standing on stage in front of all of our audience saying, hello, hello, testing. That was it. So I didn't want it to be like that again. So I said, well, let's try Don't Tell Mama. And so we met with the great and venerable Sidney Meyer. But oh my God, we were late. We were late for our interview. We were going east when we should have been going west, and we were stuck in traffic, and we were 15 minutes late. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, he let us know. But I had sent an email. I mean, there's just so much. I have to say this all in so little time. But I had sent him emails of our past performances. He obviously liked what he heard, but he had to give us the speech. We had to meet him and all of this and listen to everything he had to say. And I have to say, we have performed 3 shows there, including what we call the Sandy Show, when we had only half of our audience. That was quite interesting, but we still did it. And I have to tell you, all of my skills as an instructor, my web surfing, learning how to create links, learning how to edit sound files, oh my gosh, I'm still trying to figure out how to put together a good distribution list in Windows Live Mail. But all of these things came into play. Wardrobe. We had someone go with us for our first 3 cabarets to pick out some interesting clothes for us to wear. Makeup. If you don't know the MAC people, I think on 56th and 5th, somewhere there, they are fabulous. But I'm telling you folks, get the $50 basic version, okay? Because it can be a little pricey, and then you do have to pay the artists who do the makeup for you. So with all of that, preparing the songs, we had our first holiday show at Don't Tell Mama in December. It was quite a success. And he said he was going to put a candle in the window. I don't know how we're going to see it, but he's going to put a candle in the window for us to come back again this year. And just so many pieces that go together to before Maria and I can even stand on the stage and utter one note. I have to tell you a funny story. As I grow older, my vision is deteriorating. I used to say changing. I'm just going to say deteriorating, okay? Just get it out of the way. And so I had a good handle on finding, it's like finding this mic right here. I have no clue. Okay, but I'm thinking you're hearing me well. I had to find the microphone. Well, when I'm standing there, and I'm singing and I'm doing my thing, and I just stand straight and still and just stand in front of it, it's all good. But when Maria's singing, I can't just stand there. And, I have to go back, find my seat. Somebody told me there was water there, I never found it. And then I had to go back to the mic. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I used the audience. I said, am I close? Am I getting there? These are things you have to expect the unexpected. Let me tell you, it has been a fabulous ride, though. I wouldn't trade it. I have full control. I know how much money we're making or not. I know how much they're taking out, a lot. But we wouldn't trade it, and we're planning to do another cabaret probably around December, and we're calling it, I think, Broadway at the Movies. So there you have it. I try to keep it brief, but that's my story.
Questions for our panelists? Any questions?
My question is, at any point in time, did you ever feel stressed or just to the point where you wanted to quit, but you always had that drive to keep going?
When I was trying to schedule rehearsals, that was a major stress. I'd say that's trying to get everyone together, trying to collect all of the music, trying to get all the music to everybody, trying to get the music in the various modes. We had someone who doesn't use electronic. He needed it on CD, and I mean, it just doesn't end. But I never wanted to give up. It was definitely challenging, though, and I grit my teeth a lot, let me tell you. But you forget all of it when you step on stage and you're about to perform. And I'm certain that my fellow panelists have felt frustration. I know, with the lights and things and all of these things. But we're still here. We're still doing it. So we never wanted to give up. We haven't given up, and we won't.
How or if you had to deal with the fear of not being able to do it when you were trying to succeed?
My comment is, as Dora, my mother didn't really say to me, or ask me rather, what I'm going to do with life. She went to my friends, and she said, you have got to find Lynne, she just a job. So that's how I got into the work world, and just as Gary's 26 years ago. So it was my mother who pushed me out there too.
I think we had a question over here. Can we bring the mic over here?
Oh, okay. Sure. I have successfully worked as an able-bodied person before my disability. I'm not sure how or if you had to deal with the fear of not being able to do it when you were trying to succeed. If you had that fear, and if you did, how you were able to overcome that.
And I only had the fear of, well, when I send out the links of our performances, will they like them? So I was thinking, oh my God, I didn't hear from Mr. Meyer for a good while. I mean, he apologized for his delay. But I thought, okay, thank God. And also a fear, I don't want to call it a fear, but I'm not very familiar with the village, and we've done a cabaret at the Duplex downtown, and I'm just terrible at navigating that whole area, and that's very stressful to me. So that's still a thing with me. Where is the club? How do we get there? What do we do? Well, that part will always be with me, I think. But somehow I managed to get us there by foot or by something. So.
We have a question in the back, Bill.
For each of you, what high-tech or low-tech solutions do you use in terms of adaptive technology?
And I mentioned that I used primarily JAWS, but I've used NVDA, System Access, Window Eyes, all of it, because when one goes down, I have to have something as a backup. And I also use, for rehearsals, I use the Victor Reader Stream, the new generation, and in fact, thank you for asking, because it reminded me that I put my lyrics, I copy and paste my lyrics onto the SD card that goes into my Victor Reader stream, and I sit on the bus and I feed those lyrics into my head that way, you know, over and over and over. So that's how I learn.
Hi, this question is for all four of you. Do you have a favorite motto or motivational quote that you like to tell yourselves or think about each day?
I don't think I have one. I have several. One is, I can do this. I can do this. That's my favorite. I can. I'm not going to let anything stop me, even though I don't know what I'm doing. I can still do it, somehow.